Hey y'all, hey, it's another episode of Bonafide Her Podcast, featuring the one and only Tamir Glenn.
Appreciate it.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm blessed. Thank you for having me on here.
Of course. Hey, blessed be blessed. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. Cause first of all, congrats on the championship the other night on Monday and getting the MVP, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let's get to it. So Tamir, can you tell us your sports journey to how you got to where you are?
Okay, so really, I was a football player, and I grew up playing football, and basketball was just a hobby I would play from time again. But it was a couple rec leaders, I want to say, that recognized my talent early on, which made me like always have basketball as another option that I wanted to pursue with Teresa and Mr. Piggott. So I always used to play in rec leagues when I was little, but that was like maybe once or twice. And then when I got to high school, I tried out for a JV team and I made the team. And my first 2 years, I played JV basketball for Carver High School, and I didn't really play. I wasn't that good. And it hurt my feelings because, like, I was always good. Like, football was so natural to me. I didn't have to practice. I just play. I just can get up and go play, and I'd be good. Basketball was not that good. So I didn't touch the court, and I wasn't used to that. So that made me go to the court every day. I went to Rupert Bell Park every day to get better and playing there with the grown men. And they didn't take it easy on me. And within my junior year, people at the school thought I was the best person at the school. And then my senior year was kind of my breakout season where I got noticed and a bunch of people from the city started noticing me and stuff. But after that, my coach had got me, well, he tried to get me to sign to a JUCO. And then after I didn't want to go, I wanted to go with my friends to North Carolina A&T and had lived like the HBCU life. But while I was there, I would hoop on a black top, and they'd be like, "Bro, you need to go play somewhere." And, I would miss the game. So the summer came, and I came to play in the summer league at 14th Street, where I ended up meeting one of my old coach, well, my coaches for Piedmont, and he told me about it. And he said Josh Howard's going to be coming to coach, and I was like, "Well, Josh Howard played in the NBA, and I can probably like get some looks, and I can probably further my basketball career if I go there." So I made a decision a week before school started. I left A&T. I went to Piedmont International playing Josh Howard for 4 years. And honestly, if I can go back, I'd do it all again. I'm glad I pursued my dream because I probably would have hated myself if I didn't. So from going from not thinking I would hoop anymore at the high school to hooping for under Josh Howard and Steve, it was a great time.
So you know Steve and Josh for the longest time,
Yeah,
like
those
that
uncles. I call them
man, man. So first of all, you mentioned Josh Howard. He played in the NBA. A legend in West Salem.
yeah.
North Carolina hoop history. Period. What was that like to play for a legend like Josh Howard in college?
Well, it's kind of you don't recognize how famous he is because I guess you're around him every day. Like when I first got there, Josh Howard was, he was the star, and it's like, okay, and you see how it is to be around the NBA player for real. But then you get used to it, so you in practice every day with him, and then you go to play games, and the people that you just beat or that just beat you are lining up to take pictures with him outside of the after the game. He can't even come back to the locker room right on time. Sometimes he's taking pictures, or he'll right after we leave the locker room, he taking pictures with people. And then I remember we played Wake Forest. Well, I didn't get to play that game, but I went to the game, and they had a like how they do the retirement thing on the jumbotron. They had his highlights up there. Man, it's phenomenal. Going to Wake Forest, seeing his flag up there, and he up there with Tim Duncan and Chris Paul. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's a good feeling. And then you can see like he loved the game, his passion for the game. You can see it in his coaching style. So it was fun for me.
'Cause- so it was Piedmont, so it's now Carolina University.
Yep.
So with that for Carolina University, but at the time it was called Piedmont. For you during your time playing in college, what would you say are some of the misconceptions of the competition in the division that Piedmont Carolina University was in?
I think it's all politics. You do have the players that's like outstanding players that make it to D1 and undeniably make it. But other than that, it's people that get under recruited that go play mid level college basketball, and it's people that have a late bloomer. Yeah, late bloomer. So you gonna play against all types of competition, and it's people that transfer. Maybe they got in trouble in school and they had to go to a lower level school. So it's all what you take it, how you take it.
Because I will say, like, whether it's D2, D1, mid major, like, anybody can get it in any day.
Yeah,
Like, and I think, and I would say, like, to your point, like, I definitely agree because a lot of politics do kind of come in play, like, who's who and stuff. And then I've never heard about the under recruitment part. That is the interesting part, the under
yeah,
recruitment part. Like, you know, but I mean, you get but also you get a lot of like dogs coming out of like, the
yeah,
D2, D3, and you're like, oh, this is where, like, hey, like, and like I said, anybody can get it any day of the week.
yeah. That's how it works.
So my question for you is, you know, being part of the Winston-Salem Hoop legacy, especially the rich history that they have in, North Carolina, with Chris Paul, Josh Howard, and so many others coming out of it. What does it mean to you to be part of the Winston-Salem Hoop legacy?
It means a lot to me because like just looking at like I look up to Josh Howard and to know that he was came up on the south side of Winston Salem and I grew up on the east and you know I believe wholeheartedly if I didn't grow up here I would have never played basketball. So the influence it has on me is amazing.
Like it is like I was talking to some, but it is guard city for real. Like it
Yeah.
is like whole lot of guards, but you got like wings too, and like some of the best. But for you, I mean, along with Josh Howard, who are some of the people that say that you grew up with, that you played against, that were like, or played with, that was like, that really brought the competitive nature? Like, dang, like I have so much respect for their game, but man, like it's insane.
Um, it's a lot. Like I played against people like when I was younger, and it's some people I can't remember the names, but going off like the top of my head, I would say Walt. You had Walt on here. Walt. My first time playing Walt, he showed me how good he was and why he played overseas for so many years. And a couple people from my team that I just won with Juan. My first time playing him, it's like he showed me the difference because I'm younger than them, so they showed me it's another level I have to get to. And seeing other people play, who else? Um, Put me on the spot, so it's a lot of people. Cause I hoop with basically almost every generation. Mike Chambers and it's a couple people from my generation and even the generation like playing with Zach. Playing with Zach showed me like, okay, it's the people that's 6'6" and 6'7" that can do what you can do. So you got to find a way to separate yourself or find a way to stand out.
Man, that matchup between you and him was crazy. I was like, bruh. Y'all both fast and athletic, like both point. I was like, what matchup is this? This is like, it is. What was that like? That matchup between you and Zach? Like,
Um, I'm staying away from Zach. I'm 6 foot, he's 6'6", so somebody else gonna guard him. I will if I need to, but nah, not me. I'd rather play the help and get the rebound. Hopefully they make a miss and I can get the rebound. But I love the competition. Like I love competition. So it make my blood like hot and I want to play. So anytime I play against somebody good like that, I'm I'm ready. I'm always ready.
For sure. And you've been in all these you played in all these leagues. I remember, and then also the Drew Effect League just started again. And what does it mean to you to be able to not only stand out in your game in the leagues like the League NC and the Drew Effect League, but also just stand out as a person, just as a man?
It's honestly, I believe it's a blessing because it's all in God's timing, and without God, you know, He had it all written out. I like to give thanks to Him because you never know what you're meant to do, or you're just going through life trying to figure out why we're here and stuff like that. So it's just a blessing. I'm thankful because even the stuff I do surprises me, and the acknowledgments I get. I never expected that. I'm a short guard, but it happens, and I'm thankful for it.
And I definitely, first of all, I definitely see you as an advocate of women's sports, especially the fact, like, a, to see that, you putting on for Winston-Salem Hoops and you hooping in, the Drew Effect League that's created by Brittany Drew. Shout out to her. You know, what does it mean? What inspired you to advocate for women's basketball?
I love hoop. So when women can hoop, because I'm not used to seeing that. I'm not used to seeing like women playing like literally like anything a man can do, a woman can do. Outside of like LeBron dunking and all that athleticism stuff, I love to see that. And just watching it, like I'm kind of mad the girls here don't hoop like that no more. Like it used to be a girls hoop league in the Drew, and Steve even had one in the Winston League, and they don't. I guess it's not that organized, or the women don't want to hoop like that anymore. I'm not sure what it is, but I wish it would come back around because I love to watch it.
For sure, because it's so much growth. It's like there's so many opportunities that could be provided for women to hoop, especially like if you love to hoop and you said, like you said, you love to hoop and you love seeing women hooping. Like it's like how many opportunities and doors that could be open and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I believe it's definitely going to come back for sure. And I know Greensboro they just not opened up, they just created an upshot league that's just similar to like almost like the WNBA and Unrivaled. So it's like a
Okay.
professional league. So, it's in Greensboro. So, but it's growing, but sometimes it takes a lot of growth. Sometimes takes a lot of time to grow and stuff. So, but
Yeah.
if there was, who are some of the women hoopers, say from experience, from watching, or even anything, who are some of the women hoopers that you like really admire their game?
I admire right now is Asia Wilson. I admire a lot. Like just watching her hoop is phenomenal. And then you got Sykes. I want to say his name is Brittany Sykes, a bucket. Walking. It's a lot of walking buckets in the WNBA. And Camille. And then you got Portia from Carver. She went to Carver. She went to my high school. So I didn't really get to see her play that much, but I admire Portia. And, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Man, you mentioned Brittany Sykes. That's a real big pull right there. Brittany
Yeah.
Sykes, bruh.
Yeah.
Brittany was Brittany was a dog at Syracuse. A lot of people really forget she went to Syracuse, but she was a dog. Like,
Yeah.
no. And you mentioned Camille. Come on with it. You pulled out the bag with it. You was like,
Yeah.
oh, come through with it. So I noticed. So you mentioned about Carver, and correct me if I'm wrong. I saw on the thing where it says Carver is still like one of the 5 predominantly high schools or black high schools
Yep.
in the state. So, and for you, with you being part of Carver, you played there, and the history of it, especially in the sports world. what does it mean to you to come from Harvard, Carver High School?
I'm glad my mom had made me go to Carver because, like, Carver gets a bad rep, and people like, oh, you went to Carver, da, da." But Carver, the teachers, it's love there. It's always been love there, and the sports legacy has always been talent to come from Carver. Now, it's any school has something bad happen. Stuff happens. Kids do stupid things. But it's love at Carver, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love that I graduated from Carver.
For sure. And for you, and I remember you, and correct me if I'm wrong, you about to transition into a new chapter, for you, how did you see yourself preparing to transition from the sports aspect to this new chapter you're going into?
This was not like an option for me. Like I could see myself doing. If you'd have told me a year ago that I was going to go to the army, then I wouldn't. I'd be like, "Nah, you playing." But I think it was best for me right now in my life, and I'm still going to try to hoop. I'll be trying to hoop in the army. They have like what I read and what I've heard from people. You can play like other bases. You can get on like the all army team. So I'll be going for it.
So I know you're going. You better still hoop while you at the in the
Yeah,
military, cause come on now, like it just doesn't stop, right? Like it just don't stop.
yeah. Don't
So
stop.
as the always saying goes, ball is life because ball is truly life. So
It is.
and it's interesting, and you be learning about a lot of things through ball. Like you be learning who your best friend is,
Yep.
your brothers, your sisters. Like you be learning about like even relationships or platonic or anything. You be like learning about how to grow through perseverance and everything. So
That's the truth.
hey, gotta drop gems sometimes, but like mic drop gems, but for you, this leads to my question, I always say that athletes are humans first,
Mhm.
just like my merch says. But as a black man and an athlete, how important is mental health to you?
Mental health is so important. I'm going to be a mental health specialist in the Army. That's my MOS, my job. So I believe like without the mental health, it can make you or break you. Like if you're not strong mentally or you're weak mentally, it's going to hinder your success or it's going to nurture your success. And I don't even without the sports aspect. I I try to tell people like you're younger and you get to picking on people and like you never know what somebody going through. You never know how that's going to impact them. Everybody's not the same. So if you can like just I know some people can't help it. Like try to cut back on it and help people figure out what's going on in somebody's life before you just judge them. I don't like people. Somebody when I was in high school ended up taking his life because of people picking on him. Like I said, you never know what somebody going through. Don't do that to them. Even if you can say you don't care, but man, that's somebody's life you playing with. You know. So I'm big on mental health.
It's like, like you said, like you never know what someone is going through, but I always am a firm believer, it costs nothing to be kind. Because just
Yeah.
like you said, you never know what someone is going through. And I know with maybe mental health awareness month, but also with June, it'll be coming up, is actually men's mental health awareness month. For
Hmm.
you though, from your perspective, and I've always wanted to know this because I've always been curious about it, but from your perspective, um why do you believe it is difficult for men or male athletes to open up about mental health?
Um. Honestly, I'm not sure. Uh, Men grow up. I guess it depends on how you grow up and how you taught to express yourself. And as men, we're taught to express your feelings, but you can't express too much. So it's kind of like we have a barrier up. But honestly, I'm not sure. It's the more you mature, the more you realize that you can talk about it and open up about it. But it takes the maturing and the right people to help you see that you can do that. That make you feel comfortable doing that. Because if you don't feel comfortable, you're not going to do it. If you feel like it's going to embarrass you, you're not going to do it. So I believe that has a part to do with it.
And I feel like for, and because I mean, I used to hear that, and correct me if I'm wrong about it, but I used to hear where like men have to be strong all the time. Like they can't show no sign of weakness or anything. And like, you know, and I've, there's like that stigma, like they can't show sign of weakness, they can't cry, like they have to be strong. But I think to myself, like, are there times like they don't want to be strong all the time? Like they
Yeah.
just want to relax and everything? Is that like, is that like, but I could be wrong. Like, I just always believe, everyone, especially for a man needs a safe space where he could be like seen or respected. Because I feel like when you provide a safe space for a man where he is respected and seen and appreciated, it's the ultimate sign of respect.
Yes, it definitely is.
And for you, what does a safe space look like to you?
A safe space for me is somebody that I can open up to without getting judged. And I can tell anything and everything to, and they have feedback, and it's not a game. They take it serious, right? And I feel like I'm being heard, and it's not going in one ear and out the other. And whatever I tell you, you don't use to, you don't bring it up later on to like bash me with, you know. If I feel like it just be me and you and like what we stay stays between us, then that's my safe space. I think every person needs that, men and women. But if you can have that, you'll be that goes into mental health too. If you can have somebody to open up to and talk to and express yourself, or just find anything to express yourself, I think it goes a long way with mental health too.
That's real, because I'm telling you, that's real. Because I think, because like I said, like I'm big on say the mental health of a man, but also athletes, just because like those are the two things that's like near and dear to my heart. And you know, it like I always want them to be, for me, it's like I always want them to feel like they should be heard and seen and not be, say, judged and have like this stigma where, oh, if I say anything, I'm gonna get judged. And then it's like, because at the end of the day, you never know when you open up, you never know how much of an impact it can make on somebody. Like it can inspire somebody to say, like, oh, dang, I feel the same and everything. I feel that. So,
Yeah.
and it leads to my question to, you know, when it comes to representation, whether it's having someone that looks up to you, you looked up to somebody, how important is representation?
Representation is a big factor. Like I would see kids that look up to me because of basketball. I would try to put on the best me I can be in front of them, because you never know what they take away, what little things they take away, or what they latch on to, and what already examples they already get, and you want to show them something different sometimes. So I don't want to give a negative impact on anybody that's looking up to me. Like, oh, I used to see Tamir do this, so I mean, he did it and he was good at basketball, so I mean, I can do it. No, you know, and talking. Hopefully, I try to talk, and I try to hoop with younger kids just to see where their minds at, and what are they feeling or thinking about, and what are they into. And I try to talk to them. And it's so many kids that I grew up with around Rupert Bell that just took the wrong route, and I didn't say anything to them because I wasn't the type of outspoken person. Like I'm a quiet introvert. That was me at the time, but now I talk to them and just to see and tell them that's not what you need to be doing. And the people I looked up to, even the people that weren't in the best situations, they told me. Like I said, I hooped at Rupert Bell, so I met all kinds of people, and they talked to me and they told me this ain't what you need to be doing. You need to get out of here. You need to go, overseas. You need to go to the NBA. You need to make it. Do something with yourself. You don't need to be here. So yeah.
It's it's so interesting because you're like, I would never have expected you to be like when you said you're an introvert. I'm like, I would never expect he to be an introvert. He's so happy go lucky. He like everybody talks to him. He like just the happy go lucky. Like I was like, but you know, I would never expected you to be an introvert. But
I
you
grew
always
into
learn,
I
huh?
lacked I grew into the extrovert role because I was an introvert. I always watched and observed. I was real quiet. Um, Lacked in confidence. My coaches helped build my confidence up because I'd be like, oh, I can't do this. I was quick to say I couldn't do anything, but in reality, I could. You put your mind to it, you can do anything you want to. But that was me.
I mean, I will say like I was like, cause when you said that, I was like, the same person. I was like, I met him at the first time I moved to Winston. I just met him. He scored like 30. He went off for like 30 points. He was like just 30 something points. He was like, well, how much I got? You like, you got 30 times. Ooh, I'm getting hot today. I might get 40 points. I was like, well, he sure did get 43, 47 point. I was like, you know what? 47 points right there. And it ended up being like you were like the player of the week during that time too. I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, that was like to me when that was the first time we met. I was like, oh, I was like, you're like, how many points I got? I was like, you got 30. He's like, woo, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be a great game today. I was like, all right. And then 47. I was like, oh well, all right then. So I was like, this is probably him every day. 47, 25, 20.
Nah,
So I was like, because the day you came, what was funny is the day you came in, one of the games, the day you came in, you were late, but I was like, I remember you were saying something, but you came up and scored a quick 18 points real quick. I was like,
yeah.
he came in and scored real quick 18 points. It was nothing. He was like, he just got in there, just said, he shot. It's like, it was just nothing. It's like, oh, shoot. It's like, this is the confidence. So I see what you mean, like having to grow that confidence to being an introvert, coming from the introvert to growing the confidence. Like if I gotta be able to lead a team, especially if people like eyes on me, I gotta be able to be confident. So
Have to.
so my question is for you is who is someone that inspires you to be the best person both on and off the court?
Um, hmm.
You can
Man.
list names. You can list as many people you want.
Okay, so people that inspire me to be the best on and off the court, I want to say family, and that goes for like my mom, my dad, my brother. Um, I want to say family, my friends inspire me to be the best I can be. It's always a competition with me and my brother and my friends, so we always striving to be better and pushing ourselves and stuff like that. So on and off the court, the passion, you can see the passion sometimes. If you ever see us playing, you might see us arguing, but it's just the passion of the game. We're gonna be laughing 5 minutes later. So my mom always inspired me though, so I would say that's probably my main inspiration. She would sacrifice, and she did the best for us, so it made me want to go harder and use that as inspiration to be the best man I can be. Yeah.
That's right. Shout out to moms, cause man, they it's all would you say like she's the rock, the foundation that holds everything together with everything for you?
Yeah, she's my rock. She's my rock.
And shout out to her for real. And this leads to my question. If there was a word or a phrase to describe your journey so far, what would it be? And it could be as many words as you want. So
I would say it would be perseverance. Of- Perseverance, because I had to endure a lot and keep going Even when you don't see it, keep going, keep pushing. I would say, yeah, perseverance.
Perseverance might be the word of the day. Might be the word of the year because this is like the second or third time I heard perseverance. I'm like, oh, that's such a good word. Because
Yeah,
perseverance be leading to resilience. So it's like so. But I feel like for you with perseverance, like, would you say it has taught you with everything going on, not just in basketball, but in life itself to where you are today?
yeah, you have to endure. You're gonna get shots, and everything's not gonna go your way, and you got to take the hits. Get up. You got to keep going. Persevere. You got to see it through. And I believe without the hits and without the challenges and troubles, you don't become who you are, who you meant to be. It's supposed to happen, and it's going to make you better at the end of the day. As long as you persevere, you got to keep going. Can't give up.
That's real. As what's it called? What's that saying? As Dwayne Wade said, he's like, "You fall down 7, you get up 8."
Get up 8. Yep.
I used to hear that all the time, like, "Fall down 7, get up 8." So it's like, well, I mean, he is the Flash for a reason. So, but this leads to my question. I always ask my guests this question. Bonafide means authentic and unique, but for the men, the authenticity. Bless it if I said that word right. If I didn't, it's a blooper. But sometimes the words be stumbling. Sometimes it happens. But forgive me. But my question for you is: so, what makes Mr. Tamir Glenn authentic, and what makes your story stands out?
I like to always say I'm a regular guy. I like to be humble. I don't like to speak on myself like that, but I think my character makes me stand out, and I think I'm a hard worker, so I give my all. My hard work makes me stand out. I think that's what it is. They always remember me for running, being everywhere on the court, and I take that. That's what I like. I like to be remembered for that.
Let me get my little shakers. Where my little shakers at? Because I was trying to find my tambourine. Because hey, that's too real for that. So it's too real. Come through with it. Because you do. You do have a man. You very speed with it. I'm like, yo, just. I'm like, you could be. You like, just just fly through it. I'm like, oh, he went all the way from here. And now he just like,
Yeah,
just I'm like, I'm here for it. But like I'm just here for the game. I'm just here for a good time for the game. So but
yeah.
Tamir, can you let the folks know how where they can find you, support you, follow you, any upcoming events happening your way?
You can follow me at Big Homie T dot underscore on Instagram or Tamir Glenn on Facebook. That's all I have.
Y'all be sure to follow the man, the myth, the legend himself, Tamir Glenn at Big Homie T _, and like you said, Tamir Glenn on Facebook on the book itself. So be sure to follow him. And if you do see you still playing for the Misfits, right?
Yes.
If you do see him play for the Misfits and the Drew Effect League, be sure to check him out. Be sure to check him out on the Drew Effect League on Tuesdays and Thursdays as he plays for the Misfits. Be sure to show love, show support. Big shout out to the one and only Tamir Glenn for coming on the podcast, share your story. You could check out the live replay of Bonafide, her podcast, episode 229, featuring the one and only Tamir Glenn. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.